see. Here's the current screen that you're going to see when you first run Chirp. Very simple screen: File, Edit, View, Radio, and Help. So it's not a fancy program. But you want to pick Radio and download from the radio. Now this is after we've got it all connected with the USB cable and the volume turned up to 3/4 to full. And when we click download from radio, it'll ask us for the port. This is USB 0 on mine, but there's many other ports. Windows uses usually COM6. That should come up as the proper choice. Looking at the vendor or manufacturer, it's a Baofeng. That's already been selected from previous use, but there's many different radios to pick from, and I want to pick Baofeng. The model, many Baofengs. There we go, UV82 Baofeng, and we're ready to go, so we OK this. We get a progress bar coming across, and the radio might be indicating a little flashing red light or some indication. Once we're done, this is my current radio with a ton of frequencies, and so I don't lose these frequencies. What I could do is back them up, and you may want to back up your radio as it is before you start messing around. So we'll go to File, Save As, and I'll just give it a name of my backup and save it. Okay, now even if I screw this up, I can always reload the backup image. So let's clear out all these frequencies so that we can just work with a few simple frequencies. The goal here is to maybe program 3 frequencies, a repeater, and a couple of simplex frequencies just to get ourselves started. So I'm going to pick all the frequencies with Control A, or pick the top frequency and the bottom with a shift click. Once you select all of them, I right clicked and I'm going to delete these memories, meaning everything. Okay, we have now an empty radio, and I want to work on channel 1, 2, and 3. The idea being to put the repeater in 1 and simplex in 2 and 70 centimeter simplex 3. Let's see how we do that. Let's go to 2. That's pretty simple to do because it's simplex. We'll pick the frequency and type in 146.52 and enter that. Now that's all we have to do. On simplex, we have no offsets or anything else. We're not using a tone or tone squelch at all. We just have the receive and transmit frequency, the same frequency. This is a name column. I can type in 2 meter simplex, something like this. Notice it changed it to caps. This radio displays caps on the screen. Nothing else needs to be programmed for this channel, and we could upload it to the radio right now, but let's wait and do another simplex just to demonstrate it again. Pick the channel 3, click it in the frequency column, type in the 446. That's the simplex on 70 centimeters. We can name it or not, that's our option. limited to 8 characters on this Baofeng radio, so I can't get too carried away with names. Now let's do something a little more complicated. Let's take channel 1 and program in our repeater. Let's select frequency and type in the output frequency. On 46.9800. That's the frequency that we will be listening to as the repeater sends it out, and we're going to transmit on a different one. So again, we can give it a name. Let's just call it NYARC, maybe /R for repeater. Now, one thing we do have to choose is the tone mode, because the repeater does require a 100 Hertz tone. So under tone mode, the tone column, let's select tone. And under the tone frequency column here, we need to select the proper frequency of 100 Hertz. That's the one that will activate our repeater. We're not going to use tone squelch, DTCS, and so on. These are all other squelch modes. The next column we're concerned with is duplex. We do want to change the duplex to minus. 146 frequencies for repeaters are usually a minus offset. The 147s are plus, and that's somewhat of a convention, but it's not adhered to all the time. Now the offset, by how much? What frequency? That's going to be 0.6. And that will come out to be 600 kilocycles, or 0.6 megahertz. We're using an FM mode, not narrow. We can set high or low power, but again, most radios really have a high-low power switch right on the radio, and that's usually the best place to change it. So we really are all done with setting up the Eagle Nest repeater. We've got the frequency, we named it. We select tone to utilize the CTCSS tone. We give it the proper tone frequency. These did not matter, but duplex must be half, or it must be minus, and offset must be 0.6 megacycles or 600 kilocycle. We're all ready to go. Well, let's just put them into the radio. Upload to radio. We have the same choices here, except we're connected to the same radio with the cable. That's grayed out. Now if we had switched radios around, we might have to change some of these other parameters. But all we're doing is we are sending them right back into the radio we're connected to. So we just OK that. Here's our progress bar and the green lights flashing on the radio. And they're all a little bit different. Sometimes there is no indication. Okay, we've changed our radio and we're done with that. All we got to do now is disconnect it and try it out. Some radios you have to turn off and on for the changes to take place. But that's it. I would suggest to make a backup, save as, and give it perhaps a date and the type radio or whatever you want to say. And all I'm going to do here is say demo test and have it sent in as that. In other words, that's my 3 frequencies. Now I can always load this back in if I do any other changes. That's about it for now. Try to get some basic frequencies going and try them out.